Welcome back, guys, to NAD Park. I decided that I've been out of Van Z too much recently. Not just for you, but for me. I wanted to get something. I wanted to get back out to NAD. I like this place. Even if it is, even if I do have to play a short round just because it's before work. I just like getting out here. It's beautiful. So I'm going to do a 9-hole loop here today. As I've mentioned before, there's so many different ways you can do a 9-hole loop out here or close to 9 holes. So we are going to do 9 holes today. I'm actually going to play holes 15 through play holes 5 through 13 for a total of 9 holes. It doesn't mean I'm going to have a little bit of a walk out of here, but it's really not that bad, honestly. So we're starting on hole 5, just over 200 feet, which is really dead straight ahead. The right side's pretty blocked off and pretty nasty. The left side's pretty wide open. I'm going to go with the jackalope. After my last round at Van Z, I had an outside observer telling me that the big problem I was having is I was swooping. So when I was driving, I was bringing my arm down and then back up to release the disc. And I started like really looking at that on video, and really what I was doing is I was bringing my arm down and then releasing with a nose up angle. So I'm throwing the disc actually straight at the ground, but then I'm releasing with it pointed up. And so the thing is literally doing an air bounce up to relatively flat. And so when I got my nice flat throws, I was actually throwing them at the ground and then having them bounce back up to flat. I'm sure that I was losing a ton of velocity doing that. And so one of the things I'm going to focus on today is not necessarily throwing hard or anything. I'm going to focus on trying to get a more flat release. Really work on coming through the pocket, keeping my elbow up and keeping it going through like this, and really work on trying to get that snap at the end. Because if I can do those things, I think I should be releasing relatively flat, I think. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, that felt flatter. It wasn't necessarily a great shot, though. So in case anyone is curious, I did end up keeping all 3 of those approach discs in my bag, just in case I felt it. But I think I'm going to rely mostly on the owl for now. I really did feel like it was the one that felt most comfortable for what I was doing. I knew I was going to do that. Always fun starting with a bogey. Hole 6, 177, a little bit uphill, just right up there. Behind a couple trees though, so you gotta go to either side. I like the forehand. I'm gonna stick with the forehand. Go with my Firebird. If it comes out, I might be okay. Ooh, it bounced backwards, but I still think it's a decent shot. Certainly would have liked to have been 10 or 15 feet farther, but not too bad. Not too bad to drive. Oh, heck yeah. Make up for the bogey, right? So hole 7, about 250 feet, but it is a lot of downhill, so you don't want to throw anything too hard. I find my favorite shot, when I try to go the straight shot, which is kind of just, well, it's pretty much right where the tee pad's pointed. I have a bad habit of going long because with all the downhill, if you actually get the good shot, you just keep sailing. So I like to swing it out wide with something overstable. That way it crashes in no matter what. Now, am I good at the shot? No. Okay, especially when I'm trying to change how I throw. Yeah, I didn't put enough power on that. I felt the right plane. I felt like it was coming out right, I still have to look at it later, but I felt like it came out right, but I didn't get much power on it. So I have no doubt that you can't see this on the video, but where I'm standing is actually a pretty significant downhill. And then it actually starts to level out a little bit down lower, but it's still, I mean, I'm still vertically speaking standing above the basket, I'm pretty certain. So I think I'm going to try to hook around. Yeah, I think I might have gone just a little long, but I think that's a tap in. Well, we'll record it anyway. Yes, that was a pretty good upshot. This definitely would have qualified as a tap in. But since I wasn't sure, here we are. So on a hole 8, 275-ish, 280, something like that. It's really just straight down there. And there's even a little bit of a backstop. So, I mean, if you've got the accuracy and the range, really you just drive it into that hill behind there and, okay, don't do it too hard because it can bounce to the right and go on the hill. But, you know, you got a backstop. But let's be honest, I'm not getting there. Back when I used to play a lot, a year or two ago, I could get there. I was getting 275 pretty easily. In recent times, definitely not, and definitely not with trying to redo my form. So I'm not really gonna even try to get there. I'm gonna go with my diamond back because in theory it should fly pretty dang straight, but then fade at the end. I want to make sure it fades to the end because I would much rather be on the left side than going into the swamp on the right. Oh, geez. I mean, it's going to fade into the fairway, though. Yeah, almost the fairway. I don't know if I threw that right or not. So, while going down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to fix a swoop in your swing, I looked at quite a few different videos. Looked at one by Ricky Wysocki, looked at one from, to be honest, somebody I don't even recall who it was. But the one I really listened to the most was Robbie C Disc Golf. And he was talking about the elbow up, releasing, and he actually was describing that he had the exact same issue that I'm dealing with right now, and how you're coming in with that downward angle and then releasing with an upward disc, which means you're air bouncing it. And he had a bit of advice. You always hear that you should play putter rounds or putters and mids only. You hear that a lot for beginners. Don't throw distance drivers, don't throw fairway drivers. And his response was, no, throw the fairways. In fact, throw the fairways a lot. And his reasoning behind that was the putters and the mids are more forgiving. They will correct on their own. Whereas the fairways aren't as forgiving, and therefore you see what mistakes you're making, and it teaches you what you need to fix. So I'm definitely trying to stick with the fairways off the tee, even though I probably could have thrown a mid-range this far. Sticking with the fairways because I want to see what the flight is. I want to see what I'm doing wrong. So anyways, I'm only 100 feet out. I'm just doing an owl up shot here. Oh man, I am still not 100% confident with how this flies. So I'm a little concerned about this. It's a little touchy. But that should be pretty good. Yeah, I'm right behind the basket on the hill. I'm probably 15 feet. All right, some awkward footing here, but not too far. Perfect. Hole 9, 209. Basket's just right there, straight ahead, you know, through the two giant trees, the one of which is dead. I just like coming up that hill between 8 and 9. I came out here with a guy who's only probably 175 pounds. And when we got to the top of the hill, he told me, if you're not breathing hard when you get to the top of this hill, you're not human. So even the little guys, the skinny guys, hate climbing that hill. Woo! I'm going to go with my Firebird. I've been throwing my Raider here. I've been throwing up high. I think I'm trying to throw too hard, so I'm trying to go fairway instead. See if I can just kind of smooth it out and let it drift right. Oh, that's not bad at all. Definitely short, but I should have a wide open look at the basket. You know, I don't really honestly think I have a good chance of this putt, but I have a putt. Oh, off the top. And a roll away. Great. Good thing the first one counted. So hole 10, about 210 feet. It's kind of through a shallow valley. The basket and me are actually probably pretty close to the same elevation. It's kind of nice because if you can get 200 feet and just kind of be a little bit low, sometimes you can skid up to, you know, a decent putt range. So I'm going to try the paprika here. Normally not something I'd throw simply because I feel like normally I would possibly push this too far to the right, but with trying to change how I'm throwing, I'm definitely throwing lighter. I'm hoping this will help it reach out a little more. Well, I feel like I threw that pretty flat, and the distance is actually pretty good. Just not the right direction. All right, so I again gave myself a outside look, just outside the circle. Oh man, I thought I had that for a sec. I've been actually giving them some good bids today. Hole 11, 216 feet. That's just right up there, straight dead ahead, with a lot of trees in the way. So a lot of trees. That kind of reminds me of a course I played. I got the chance to go to the Big Island in Hawaii and play a course out there called Gargoyle Gardens. Absolutely amazing property. It's actually personal property. The owner walked us through the course. He doesn't have a lot of signage up, or at least he didn't at that time. And so he just straight was like, you're probably not going to find your way through the whole course if I don't come with you, so I'll come with you. Amazing experience. He actually was like, hey, do you see the lines? Hey, there's also a line here. He's showing us the shots. Amazing experience. If you do end up going, I really hope you do. Bring some money, bring some cash or a card. That way you can buy a disc or a shirt or something he sells there. That's how he makes his money in order to maintain his course. So definitely bring it. Anyways, I bring up Gargoyle Gardens because I'm not joking you when I say Gargoyle Gardens had 10 times the number of trees there are here. But there were all these like hardwood 4-inch trees, super slow growing little 3, 2, 4-inch trees. And it just kind of makes me laugh when I come to a hole like this. I'm like, oh, it's a lot of trees. Grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of trees. They're just big trees. So, anyways, on that last hole, I pretty effortlessly got it out 200 feet without even throwing very hard. That's definitely what I'm going to try again. I'm going to try with the jackalope this time. And so I'm going to try to replicate that same throw, elbow out, snap at the end, trying to really level so that just the disc does the work. And of course, hope I don't hit a tree. Well, I didn't hit a tree. Also, didn't go the right direction. I didn't get the snap at the end. I could feel it. So this is a horrid place to be. Basket's somewhere up over there. I can kind of see it if I lean out. I just don't know how I'm going to get there. I feel like if I went that way, I don't have room. I got to do the backhand, I guess. Kind of try to come between these two trees. I'm definitely left of the basket. I'm not sure how close I am. Okay, this definitely turned out better than I expected. Oh, 12, 225, just straight up ahead. I'm gonna go back to the Paprika. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure it matters the Jackalope or the Paprika at this point, but I'm gonna go back to the Paprika again. Just trying to focus on elbow out, snap at the end. So, and curl hand just a little bit, elbow out, snap at the end. Oh man, yeah, I threw that level because it turned a little. Jackalope might have been better for that one, but I got up there. I didn't hit anything. I think this new throwing style has got something to it because I don't feel like I got hardly any mustard on that at all. And I'm almost pin high at 225. So that flew 210, 215. Again, not necessarily the right direction. Probably a disc selection issue on this one. I actually think I had a good release point. If I'd thrown something just the tiniest bit more stable, I think I would have been, you know, definitely in putting range. As it is, I have a couple big trees in between me and the basket. You probably can't even see the basket. It's right behind this really big tree right in front of us. So I'm going to try to hook to the right side and hook in around it. Honestly, if I can even just get straight back there, I'm going to be 10, 15 feet away. Ooh, but I went deep. Oh, and it rolled the wrong way. Whew, that could be an ugly putt. Oh, no. Guess it wasn't meant to be. This basket throws me off so bad. It is so low. Like, look at this thing. It's so low. Hole 13, 162 feet. Cannot see the basket completely blind, but it is just straight ahead. Actually, it's kind of right over here. So there's a cluster of like 4 big trees right in the middle here. Kind of actually on the left edge of that. I really like throwing the tomahawk. So it's going to skirt the right edge because it tends to corkscrew around to the left and then come back and then dive. Or I'm sorry, it corkscrews around the right to dodge the tree and then it dives back left. And when I execute the shot right, it does quite well. So I always liked my Raider for the tomahawk throw. So that's where we're going with it. Ooh, that was a way low throw. That did definitely not come back left enough. I did end up a little bit right, not as much as I thought I was. It definitely ended up short, which is because it was thrown so low. But honestly, I gave myself a putt. This ain't bad. And a reasonable putt. Oh, off the top. That's a tap in. So that's the end of my 9-hole loop here at NAD. Just a beautiful day for this. Time for me to get going home though. I'm going to put a couple links in the description for the Robbie C video that I was talking about. And then also, I mean, if I can find something, I'm going to put something about Gargoyle Gardens on here as well. Because definitely worth supporting that guy. He's doing some great work out there. Again, thanks for coming out and watching me. I hope you have a great day.